Good evening. This is a regularly scheduled meeting of the Kettering City Council. Today's date is May 13th, 2025. Please stand for the presentation of the colors.
Detail home. Right face. Colors post. Present arms.
Thank you. That was for the Kettering Police Honor Guard. And please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward arms. Right face. Forward march. Left. Left. Left.
Let us bow our heads in a moment of reflection and prayer. As we gather here during National Police Week, we pause to honor and remember the men and women who have dedicated their lives to protecting our communities. We are especially mindful of those who made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. May their courage and commitment never be forgotten. We give thanks for the officers who continue to serve with integrity, compassion, and resolve. Bless them with wisdom in difficult decisions, strength in times of trial, and safety in every step they take. May we as a community never take for granted the service and sacrifice of those who uphold justice and peace amongst us. Thank you. I would like to recognize our Miami Valley Communication Council TV operators, Mike Soprani and Evan Russell. Thank you both for your assistance. Vice Mayor Fisher has an excused absence this evening, and I'd like to call on Mr. Sullivan for a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Your Honor, I have read. Sorry about that. Your Honor, I have read and reviewed the April 22nd, 2025 council meeting and workshop minutes. I have also read and reviewed the April 29th, 2025 joint school board meeting minutes. I find them in order and I move for approval.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and second. Any corrections, additions, anything? Okay, seeing none, please call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes to the council meeting minutes, abstain from the school board meeting minutes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sutta?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes. Thank you. At this point, we do have a special presentation from the Kettering Police Department. As you may have guessed, with the Honor Guard here tonight, it's because we are going to be honoring one of our finest, and I will call on Chief Protzman.
Thank you, Mayor.
Welcome,
Good
Chief.
evening. It is my pleasure to introduce our newest sergeant for the Kettering Police Department, Sergeant Mark Stefano. Mark, would you step up here, please? Sergeant Mark Stefano is a seasoned law enforcement professional whose career spans over 26 years of service and dedication. Sergeant Stefano joined the Kettering Police Department in 2003 as a patrol officer and came to us from the Troy Police Department. During his tenure, he has served as a member of Road Patrol. He's a field training officer. He was on the bike unit and an evidence technician, where he performed his duties with great enthusiasm. Sergeant Stefano is highly respected among his fellow officers and will continue to help move the Kettering Police Department forward in its commitment to being Ohio's finest. Mark is here today with his son, Seth. Seth, if you'd like to step forward, please. Also here tonight with him is his father and stepmother, Jerry and Peggy, Mike, his brother, who's an officer with the Troy Police Department, and his aunt, Joyce. At this time, I'm going to ask Seth to do the pinning of the badge. Mark, congratulations.
Thanks, sir.
Say a few words.
Sure. I didn't really prepare. I didn't really think ChatGPT would be appropriate, but I want to thank the Chief Protzman, for this opportunity. I've been an officer for 26 years, patrol officer. I feel this is a great opportunity, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you to my colleagues, coworkers, friends, and family that came. I appreciate the support, and I'm just ready to get started. I mean, I actually started already, but I'm ready to continue. So thank you.
I have one question.
Sure.
Can I still ride along with you?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
welcome anytime. It's an open invitation.
All right. It's happening, Sue. Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. We have a few other proclamations this evening. First one, I'm going to have Mr. Scott read it. This is in honor of Police Week, and Chief Protzman will be accepting the proclamation.
In light of things that have happened in our region recently, it gives me special pleasure to be able to read this proclamation. Whereas the Congress of the United States of America has designated the week of May 11th, 2025 through May 17th, 2025 to be dedicated as National Police Week, which pays tribute to all the men and women who have fallen in the line of duty. And whereas in 1962, President Kennedy proclaimed May 15th as National Police Officers Memorial Day, and the calendar week in which May 15th falls as National Police Week. And whereas Peace Officers Memorial Day pays special recognition to those law enforcement officers who have been killed or disabled in the line of duty for the safety and protection of others. And whereas law enforcement officers serve with courage, dedication, and strength. They fearlessly enforce laws at the risk of personal peril, safeguarding the property, liberty, and lives of others. And whereas on Peace Officers Memorial Day and throughout National Police Week, we express our unending gratitude to law enforcement officers who selflessly confront danger, protect our families, and defend our communities. And whereas law enforcement officers of the City of Kettering unceasingly provide a vital public service, and whereas we owe law enforcement officers and their families our full and enduring support. Now, therefore, I, Peggy Lehner, Mayor of the City of Kettering, Ohio, on behalf of City Council and the community, do hereby proclaim May 11th through 17th, 2025 to be Police Memorial Week in the City of Kettering, Ohio, and urge all citizens to thank the men and women who work continuously to protect our community.
Thank you. Come on up. Go. Thank you. Congratulations. She wants a picture. Okay, thank you. Okay, the next proclamation will be read by Lisa Duval. This is for Bike Month. And receiving this will be Kendall Drager. We never have to ask the police to leave quietly. Right. Paybacks are hell, you know.
All right, I'll go ahead. I think they're going to be quiet. Whereas the bicycle is an economical, healthy, convenient, and environmentally sound form of transportation and an excellent tool for recreation, enjoyment of Kettering's scenic beauty, and whereas biking is a lifeline for so many people during their daily lives, whether it's the primary way people commute to essential jobs, the way people relieve stress and decompress after being home for long periods of time, or the way children get much needed exercise when schools are closed. And whereas bicycling has been shown to improve citizens' health, well-being, and quality of life, growing the economy of Kettering, attracting tourism dollars and local business spending, and reducing pollution, congestion, and parking costs on our streets and roads. And whereas the City of Kettering's commitment to create a bicycle-friendly community is evidenced in recent award designations, including the city receiving the Bronze Level Bicycle Friendly Award from the League of American Bicyclists. And whereas the city will continue to foster relationships with local organizations, including Bike Miami Valley, Five Rivers Metro Parks, the Dayton Cycle Club, and the League of American Bicyclists to enhance bike safety within the Kettering community. And whereas with the help of various groups and organizations, public awareness of bicycle safety will continue to grow and will improve the health and safety for everyone on the road, which will allow the Kettering community to continue to be a premier destination for cycling. Whereas April 26, 2025 is Celebrate Trails Day, May 12th through the 18th, 2025 is Bike to Work Week, and May 16th, 2025 is Bike to Work Day. And now, therefore, Peggy Lehner, Mayor of the City of Kettering, Ohio, on behalf of City Council and the community, do hereby proclaim May 2025 to be Bike Month in the City of Kettering, Ohio, and encourage all citizens to recognize the importance of bicycle safety and to be more aware of cyclists on our streets and roads.
Thank you, Lisa. And call Kendall Drager to come on up and receive this. And Kendall is the chair of the Bicycle and Pedestrian Advisory Committee. Okay. Yep, thanks a lot. Okay, and our third proclamation.
Did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Did you? Yeah, say something.
On behalf of the BPAC and Cycle Kettering, we appreciate the city giving the proclamation. The BPAC continues to encourage more people to walk and bicycle here in Kettering, and we maintain a list for future recommendations for improvements. Brent Devitz, the president of Cycle Kettering, he wasn't able to attend this evening, but he's a busy man. Cycle Kettering has partnered with the Parks and Rec Department again this year for offering monthly community rides, in addition to other events, including the Celebrate the Trails event last month, which was nice to see the mayor, vice mayor, and city manager attend. He's also partnered with the Latham Senior Center for reintroducing the bicycle cycle paths group. So this is a group that has a weekly Wednesday morning ride at various points on their regional trail system. It just got restarted last month, and it's pretty popular because over 40 people have already signed up. So both the BPAC and Cycle Kettering appreciate the investments that the city is making for making it better the city better for walking and bicycling, and we look forward to more improvements in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. The next proclamation is for Food Allergy Awareness Week, and it's going to be read by Mr. Setta. And Mr. Bergstresser is going to be accepting that proclamation.
The proclamation reads, whereas as more than 33 million Americans have food allergies, nearly 6 million are children under the age of 18. And whereas research shows that the prevalence of food allergy is increasing among children and adults, and whereas 9 foods cause the majority of all food allergy reactions in the U.S., including shellfish, fish, milk, eggs, tree nuts, peanuts, soy, wheat, and sesame. Food allergy reactions can range from mild symptoms to severe reactions such as anaphylaxis, and whereas anaphylaxis is a serious allergic reaction that is rapid in onset and may cause death, and whereas every 10 seconds, food allergies send a patient to the emergency room. Reactions typically occur when an individual unknowingly eats a food containing an ingredient to which they are allergic, and whereas emergency medical treatment for severe allergic reactions to food has increased by 377% in only a decade. And whereas childhood food allergies cost U.S. families $34 billion per year. Now, therefore, Peggy Lehner, Mayor of the City of Kettering, on behalf of the City Council and the community, do hereby proclaim May 11 to 17, 2025 to be Food Allergy Awareness Week in the City of Kettering, Ohio, and encourage the residents of Kettering to increase their understanding and awareness of food allergies and anaphylaxis. Mayor?
Thank you. Mr. Bergstresser, in an unusual role. Come down here, and who do you have with you? Hi, Henry. Right. Are you going to give a speech, or is your dad?
You both are.
You both are. Here, can I give this to you? Okay, turn around where she's not in the room.
Oh, she had to run.
Not in the room. Here. Mom will get it. Mom will get it. Okay, thanks.
So thank you, Your Honor. My name is Steve Bergstresser. I'm the Assistant City Manager and City Engineer for Kettering. This week is of extra importance to me because 2 of my 3 children have multiple food allergies. My wife, Lauren, is here in the audience, along with all 3 of our kids. Both of us work extremely hard to ensure that Henry and Margaret, our 2 oldest children, are safe and included at school and in the community. Outside of work, I volunteer as a coach for Henry's sports teams, and Lauren volunteers at Southdale Elementary School, where they both attend. Food allergies are an invisible disability. It's not as simple as just not eating nuts or eggs. Food is everywhere, and American culture involves food in just about every event or celebration. Even if you are not eating, others around you are or can be. Food allergies require constant vigilance and awareness. Lauren and I are thankful for Kettering City Schools for the inclusion and accommodations shown to our family, and we are thankful for the City of Kettering for this proclamation. Please be considerate of those around you and what they might be facing. Food allergies are not a choice, but your actions toward those diagnosed with them are. I'd like to invite my son Henry up. He has a few words to say about his experience.
Thank you for bringing awareness to food allergies. I've been allergic to tree nuts and shellfish since I was 2, and my sister has been allergic to peanuts, tree nuts, and eggs since she was a baby. We ask that you become a food allergy ally, which means being part of a community that supports and uplifts those with food allergies. By showing your support and understanding, and you can help create a more inclusive and compassionate world for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. Thanks, Steve. Henry's an old pro at speaking before council. All right. Let's see, where are we? I think we will now be opening a public hearing. We have a public hearing on an application to rezone land at 2325 Wilmington Pike to PB Business Park. The Planning Commission recommended that the application be approved. The Planning Commission certification packet and staff report are made part of the record. We will first hear from city staff, who will make a presentation. And after that presentation, we will, and he's ready to go. And after that presentation, we will take comments for or against the application from those persons who are present tonight and wish to be heard. So, if I can turn the page. Okay. Comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Now I will open the public hearing. Any person that intends to speak to our city council tonight about this matter should stand, raise your right hand, and take the oath. Anyone standing? Okay.
Just me.
It's gonna just be you. Okay. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you present tonight before city council is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. Please be seated. You may stay. Okay. Dave Roller is going to make our presentation today on part of the city staff, and you may proceed.
Thank you, Mayor Lehner. As you mentioned, Planning Commission has forwarded a request to rezone the property located at 2325 Wilmington Pike from O Office to BP Business Park with their recommendation for approval. 2325 Wilmington Pike is located within the City of Kettering Business Park. It is city-owned property, and it is home to our municipal courts building as well as Building 46, which is a leftover building from the former DESI facility that occupied the business park prior. In the image that's on the screen, you'll see municipal courts are in kind of the right side of the image. Building 46 is at the center. The property subject site is outlined in a red dashed line. And this is a request which originated by city staff, specifically Tom Robillard, Director of Planning and Development, is the actual applicant. Next slide, please. The current zoning is O Office. And so the O Office district is a district that is narrowly tailored. It is really set up just to allow offices, specifically professional offices, administrative offices, medical offices, but really just offices. And it does a good job at that. It ensures that we have land set aside for those office users. However, next slide. This proposal requests rezoning to BP Business Park, here shown in purple on the map. This district allows office uses, but it also, and more importantly, expands the allowable uses at the site to include uses that would be considered more light industrial or industrial in nature. The types of uses that you would typically find in a business park. Building 46 is a light industrial building. It has roll-up doors, loading docks, and large space inside. And it should be occupied by a light industrial use. This request simply brings into alignment expectations for the property with the reality of the site. The uses available would be able to match with the building design and type that it is. If you go to the next slide. Here we see that the request is compliant with the City of Kettering Future Land Use Plan and the City of Kettering Comprehensive Plan. It's kind of hard to see there, but there is an arrow leading from the designation, which includes business park and professional office, all the way over to there's kind of a pink blob. So you can see that the request is in keeping with the Kettering Comprehensive Plan, which is what the Planning Commission found at their April 7th public hearing on the matter. In summary, the Planning Commission was able to make all of the required findings, and they voted to recommend approval, which was a unanimous vote. It was 5-0 in their recommendation. Again, this request is really about matching the expected uses to the type of building that we have on site. Planning Commission, again, is recommending approval of this request, which was initiated by city staff. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Roller. As I mentioned earlier, now is the time for public comments.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes, you may.
Sorry.
Okay.
I have no issue with any of this, but I was curious, you had mentioned this is in line with the comprehensive plan. Aren't we still in the midst of that? I mean,
The current plan that we have.
today's current plan?
Yeah, today's current
Okay,
plan.
okay.
Not necessarily a future plan.
Okay.
I would expect it to align with that, but, yeah.
Good question. Okay. Public comments will be limited to 5 minutes per person. Each person may speak only once. Please do not repeat material that has already been covered. And before you begin, please state your name and address and that you took the oath. I know no one indicated previously that they intend to speak tonight, but in case anyone has changed their mind, anyone interested in speaking? Okay. All right, I will ask for anyone who is interested in favor of the amendments and anyone opposed to the amendments. Okay, seeing none. At this point, we will close the public hearing. City Council will consider legislation regarding this matter at a future meeting. Okay. We're going to give people another opportunity to get up and speak. That was specifically for the public hearing. If there's anyone who wishes to speak to any issue dealing with legislation on tonight's agenda, other than what we have just heard, come down now. And I see we have a volunteer. Welcome, Mr. Abernathy.
My name is Sterling Abernathy. I've got comments on item 2 of the agenda. It's a resolution to spend $250,000 for an architect to develop plans for upgrades to the Fraze Pavilion. I sent you a letter 2 months ago with questions about this matter. I never received a reply. I hope to get my answers to my questions tonight. In 2016, the city contracted for a master plan for the Fraze facility improvements by Sustida Architects. That concept plan proposed improvements for 8 scope items: backstage, including dining area for cast and crew, concessions, concrete grandstands, kiosk under seating, storage under seating, VIP club, backstage storage, and dock improvements. In 2016, Sustida Architects estimated the cost for the proposed improvements to be $5.1 million. Forward to 2025, now $250,000 is being proposed for Fraze upgrades by another architect. Questions. What is the proposed scope of Fraze work for this architect the city plans to hire at a cost of $250,000? What's included? Concept plan, design, engineering, construction drawings. Second question. Which of the 8 Fraze scope items included in the 2016 study, master plan, will be included in the architect's work? Third question, what is the current estimated total project cost, design and construction for the Fraze upgrade? An architect's fee of $250,000 has to mean a total project cost in the millions of dollars. 9 years ago, Fraze improvements were estimated to cost $5.1 million. What's the estimate for this plan? Since you plan to pay an architect $250,000 now to plan Fraze improvements, what will the entire Fraze improvement project cost the city? The city must have some sort of estimate right now for the potential project cost. What is it? Every year, the Finance Department shares the city's long-range financial forecast with council. Both forecasts in the last 2 years show the city is headed for financial distress. Financial distress means the city's general fund balance will be depleted below reserve minimum because forecasted spending exceeds forecasted revenue. I'm concerned that spending millions more on phrase upgrades will make this financial distress situation worse and lead to additional taxes and fees for citizens. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Abernathy. Did anyone wish to address any of this here tonight, or I know it's rather some complicated questions?
I can either address it now, Your Honor, or when we read the resolution. Your choice.
What's your preference?
I can address it now,
Okay.
if that's fine, or if you want to wait for other comments.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sure. So as I understand Mr. Abernathy's questions, proposed scope of the architect that we are wishing to hire now. So yes, he is correct. Back in 2016, we did hire Sustadia architects to develop purely concept drawings, essentially, for potential improvements to the Phrase Pavilion. Those included the items he listed. It included new grandstands, improvements to the back of house, which we refer to as behind the stage, essentially. Those areas that primarily serve the artists. And I believe there were some improvements to concessions in those plans as well. That was almost 10 years ago. Prices have increased since then, and now coming out of the Phrase study that we just completed, the operational and building assessment study, we feel it's appropriate to engage the services of an architect for essentially a two-phase project. The first phase of the project that we would ask them to do would be basically to use their professional judgment and opinion to update the cost estimates of what was included in the 2016 study, and also to create visuals using 3D rendering tools and things like that in order to basically go out and fundraise to help out offset the cost of the improvements. We did something very similar with Rosewood. We engaged a firm to help us visualize what those improvements may look like. Then we turned to use the Parks Foundation to go out, and frankly, we're very successful in raising funds for that project. We intend to use the same model for this. So that would be a first phase that would be authorized under the contract. And nothing above that cost for that first phase would be authorized in the first phase. Basically, what we want to hire is an architect of record for any improvements that are going to be at the Phrase. So when we get to the point that we have a project and we know what we're going to move forward with and what council is okay with moving forward with as far as improvements to the Phrase, which we have a lot more discussions to have about the Phrase in that regard. We're not there yet. At that point, we would engage the architect to go into phase 2, and there would be a cost negotiated for that phase 2, so that they would basically produce architectural drawings that we could go out to bid for the project. So basically we're doing a reset on things that were discussed almost 10 years ago. We need fresh cost estimates, we need an updated design, we need renderings, so that we can actually move forward with a project that was purely conceptual 10 years ago, and really, frankly, not much of it was implemented. So I think I covered what items will be included in that. He also asked about current estimated total project cost. That is, to be perfectly frank, that is a bit of an unknown. The cost estimate numbers that we have for the total project cost, I can tell you, are going to be more than $5.1 million simply from inflation. We haven't really talked about or added anything to the scope of the project, but purely from inflation over 10 years, it's going to be more than $5.1 million. I can't tell you what that number is going to be tonight as we sit here. What I can tell you, though, is that the $250,000 that we are budgeting is a budget. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going to spend the full $250,000, particularly on phase 1. That will be far less than $250,000. But we will monitor that cost and attempt to stay within budget. The cost to hire this architect will come out of the Phrase fund. It will not necessarily come out of the general fund to pay for this service, so it will come out of funds that are dedicated simply for the Phrase pavilion, kind of like an enterprise fund, that type of situation. So I think I covered all the questions. Be happy to answer questions from council now or when the resolution is read.
Anyone have any questions? Okay. Thank you very much for that
Sure, you're welcome.
response. All right. We will move on to ordinances in second reading. And we do not have any, so we'll move on to resolutions. And I ask Mr. Sullivan to start.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for architectural services for upgrades at the Frays Pavilion. As we mentioned, the estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $250,000. This is requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. I move for approval.
Second.
Been moved in second, Mr. Burst.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have nothing more to add on this one. Appreciate it.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing this.
Your Honor, need to vote for that.
Oops, sorry.
There's no other questions.
No other questions? Okay, all in favor?
Call the roll. Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudduth?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for stagehand and technical services for the Frays Pavilion. The estimated cost and the amount budgeted is $320,000. This is also being requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do you have anything to add?
Yes, Your Honor, I do on this one. A little bit different than the previous resolution. This one is for the city to contract for stagehand and technical services for the Frays Pavilion. So essentially what this contract does is those folks that are behind the scenes as the production is going on, that handle sound and lighting and any kind of changes to the stage for different acts, we would under this proposal, we will directly contract for those services with a stagehand union instead of procuring them through a production company contract, which we had done previously. This was one of the recommendations that came out of the recently completed Frays study, and so this resolution will authorize us to bargain for those services and contract for them as well for the upcoming season, which happens to start in about 3 weeks. So be happy to answer any questions.
Great. Anyone have any questions?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
So you said this is through a labor union negotiation. Are there multiple that will bid on this, or is it there's one that's qualified?
There's essentially one that's qualified that does all of this type of services for like the Schuster Center, Wright State, those types of firms. So it is one union. I can tell you that we have been talking with them over a number of weeks now. They are in agreement to provide those services. We just found that out today. So we're excited to move forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Call the roll.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudduth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for the renovation of playground surfacing. Estimated cost $115,000. That is the amount budgeted. Is requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department. I do move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Burks.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will allow the city to contract for the renovation and replacement of safety surfacing on our playgrounds. Specifically for this year, we will be completing that project at Van Buren Park in the northern central part of Kettering. Be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Sudduth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for irrigation controllers and irrigation system installation at Poland Farm. Estimated cost and amount budgeted is $100,000. This is requested by Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Okay. Minister Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is a project that we've included in our 2025 capital improvement program. Currently, Poland Farm, the landscaping in that area is maintained by hand watering via various hose bibs on site. We are in the process over time upgrading all of our irrigation systems and new irrigation systems to a centrally controlled system that can be operated remotely. We would like to include Poland Farm in this system and install irrigation to maintain the areas both for water control, water efficiency, and the ability to remotely control the watering as needed. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to apply for a human services grant from the Montgomery County Human Services Planning and Development Department to help support the Senior Services Transportation Program. This is requested by the Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts Department, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will allow the city to apply for a human services grant from Montgomery County through their Human Services Levy Program to support senior services that we run out of the Latham Senior Center. The previous funding that we had used for this was federal in nature. That money is no longer available, and so funds have been rolled into a larger grant, which we are now applying for. The funding level will be determined if our application is accepted. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Call the roll. Oh, Mr. Suddeth.
Sorry. It's lucky for you tonight. Matt leaves town. I've got questions. What's the dollar amount of this request? Any idea? A ballpark?
I don't off the top of my head. I think it depends on how much they're able to fund out of the program. So we apply for funds. They look at their budget and say, we can provide you X. So we don't exactly know yet.
Okay. All right. Call the roll.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Laner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution approving the solid waste management plan for the Montgomery County Solid Waste Management District. This is requested by the Engineering Department, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser, if you're not too worn out by now.
No, ma'am, I can go all night if you need me to. This is a subject of a workshop presentation that I believe at your last meeting, Mr. John Manier from Montgomery County Solid Waste came and talked about their new district plan. So periodically, the Solid Waste Management District, which the City of Kettering is a member of, is required by the Ohio EPA to update their solid waste management plan. So as part of this plan, which is updated every 5 years, it basically describes how waste can be reduced and diverted from landfills within the planning period. It also funds, the funds that are collected through generation fees are also used to fund many of the programs that go towards improved recycling, waste diversion, things like that. So as part of the plan, the Solid Waste Management District will be increasing trash generation fees from $3 a ton to $3.65 a ton, which maybe sounds like a lot of money, but it's really not when you think that the average household at Kettering produces about a ton of trash per year. So it's about a 65-cent increase per year. So not a huge amount. And then they're proposing 6% increases each year after to support future programming. So some of those programs that are going to be in the new plan include recycling awareness, expanded business community relationships. One area I'm particularly excited about, which is a food waste collection and processing program to try to get food waste out of our landfills. Excuse me, and other updates, enhancements, and expansions to their educational programming. The reason it's before council tonight is that because of the Ohio Revised Code, the plan must be approved by all the legislative bodies within the Waste Management District, which we are one of them, prior to the Ohio EPA approving the plan. So I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Call roll. Give you a chance.
It's okay.
Call roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution adopting renewed and recalculated streetlight assessments, amended and/or consolidated street lighting districts, and certifying them to the county auditor for collection. This is being requested by the engineering department, and there is no associated cost. I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is the final step in our annual renewal of street lighting assessments per city ordinances. Previously, at a meeting back in April, council passed a resolution to direct the city engineering department to prepare the assessments. We went through the advertisement process. We received no objections to the assessments through that process. And then upon adoption of this resolution, we will deliver the final certified list to the county auditor by the middle of September. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any? Okay, call the roll.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to contract with Kettering Development Corporation to provide demolition and related services for the building located at 2335 Smithville Road. Estimated cost and funds available is $25,000. Is requested by the Planning and Development Department. I do move for approval.
Second.
Okay, Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Kettering Development Corporation owns the former Van Buren Tap Room, which is located adjacent to the intersection of Smithville and Wilmington. They seek to redevelop the site. So the city is preparing bid specifications to demolish a number of structures within the city, and the Development Corporation would like to partner with us to join with that project for the demolition of the Van Buren Tap Room. So this legislation tonight will allow the city to execute an agreement with the Development Corporation to act as their agent and add the Van Buren Tap Room to the scope of demolition for our larger project. Most importantly, the agreement requires that the KDC, Development Corporation, reimburse the city for the actual incurred costs for the demolition of the Van Buren Tap Room, as well as a small administrative fee. Be happy to answer any questions.
Does anyone have any questions? Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing a facade and site improvement grant for the property located at 4070 Marshall Road. The estimated cost and amount budgeted is up to $50,000. This is requested by the city manager's office, and I move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstresser.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will authorize the city to partner with the owner of Mo Harrigan's Tavern, which is located at 4070 Marshall Road. The owner has approached the city and would like to make facade and site improvements to the property and participate in our facade and site improvement program, which we've recently expanded citywide from what it used to be just on Wilmington Pike. So this grant program is a reimbursable grant. So we will reimburse 50% of the cost incurred, not to exceed $50,000 for any facade and site improvements that are applicable to the program. Be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Ms. Duval?
In honor of all the people who have spent a lot of St. Patrick's Days there, I vote yes.
Not that it would be you.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing a facade and site improvement grant for the property located at 4055 Far Hills Avenue. The estimated cost is up to $50,000 and the same amount for the available funds. This was requested by the city manager's office, and I do move for approval.
Second.
Mr. Bergstrom.
Thank you, Your Honor. Similar to the previous resolution, same program, a facade and site improvement grant. This one is for the property at 4055 Far Hills Avenue, which is a former medical office at the corner of Far Hills Avenue and Southmore Circle Southwest, sort of across the street from the Town and Country Shopping Center along the Far Hills frontage. Similar to the previous resolution, the property owner is proposing to make facade and site improvements to the property in order to bring it up to our current zoning code compliance. Same thing as before, it's a reimbursable grant up to 50% of the cost of the project, not to exceed a $50,000 contribution from the city. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Call the roll.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes.
Your Honor, I have a resolution authorizing the city manager to use competitive bargaining and negotiated quotes to contract for recodification and online hosting services for the codified ordinance of Kettering, Ohio. The estimated cost and the funds available are $33,245, and this is requested by the Law Department. I move for approval.
Second.
I know Steve would love to explain this one as well, but I'm going to call Mr. Hamlin instead.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor. This resolution will authorize a contract for services to convert the charter and codified ordinances on the city's website from PDFs into searchable electronic format and to host them online. The city needs to remove documents in PDF format from its website or convert them into an accessible format in order to help the website meet the ADA compliance rules. So the city charter and all the city's codified ordinances currently appear in PDF format, which is not searchable or is not ADA compliant. The contract will also provide recodification services, which involve a detailed review of the codified ordinances to identify what is out of place, outdated, inconsistent, missing, confusing, or in conflict with current state or federal law. This process does not generally change the fundamental policies or purposes of the existing codified ordinances. The last recodification of the city's codified ordinances occurred in 1972. I recommend approval and would be happy to address your questions.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
I'd just like to point out that a majority of council were not alive in 1972. That's all.
Okay.
That's it.
Mayor, how do you like being in the minority on that? It's you and me.
Yeah, sort of figured that.
And me.
Thank you, Mr. Suddeth. Thank you, Mr. Hamlin. And a big thank you to you, Mr. Bergstresser, who bore the brunt of the
Do we
we will call the roll on that one.
Yeah. Do we have any questions?
Any questions? Okay, call the roll.
Mr. Sullivan?
Yes.
Mrs. Hall?
Yes.
Mr. Scott?
Yes.
Ms. Duval?
Yes.
Mr. Suddeth?
Yes.
Mayor Lehner?
Yes. We now have ordinances in second reading, however, we have none, so we will, I'm sorry, in first reading, and we still have none. And I will move on to certifications and petitions. Mrs. Hayslip, do you have any this evening?
Your Honor, we do not have any certifications or petitions this evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And we will now call on our Assistant City Manager, if he has any voice left, to give the update.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a short number of items on the committee update tonight. We've announced dates for our spring blood pressure clinics. This is a service that we provide out of our senior services office. Natalie Storms heads up that effort for us. She offers free, best price ever, free blood pressure checks at the Dayton Metro Library, the Kettering Moraine branch on Far Hills Avenue. The dates there on the screen, essentially every Wednesday, April, May, and June. As we mentioned earlier this evening with a proclamation, this is National Bike Month. So there are a number of events that have taken place or will take place this month to celebrate and recognize biking. We've already had National Ride a Bike Day on May 4th. This is Bike to Work Week, which involves Bike to Work Day on the Regional Planning Commission, MVRPC, is hosting down at Riverscape this coming Friday. So we encourage residents to get out and bike. We have a number of very, very nice bike routes in Kettering that are appropriate for all ages, and so we encourage everyone to get out when it's not raining to get out and bike. Kettering Leadership Academy, I won't steal too much of Ms. Duvall's thunder tonight. I'm sure she's going to talk about it, but we are currently accepting applications for the upcoming class. As a Leadership Academy grad myself, I will vouch that it is a wonderful opportunity to learn more about all aspects of Kettering. I did it early in my career here at the city, and was really a very rewarding experience to try to learn more about all the, not just the city offers, but all the Kettering community offers as well. So strongly encourage applications. It is an excellent professional development opportunity. We'll be accepting applications through June 3rd. Please call our volunteer office for more information. Staying on volunteers, we have our Neighborhood Pride Awards ongoing right now for nominations. So we ask that folks go to our website and search Neighborhood Pride, or they can, it's a little bit out of date, but they can call the volunteer office. Don Kirchner, our former volunteer office, or volunteer administrator, is listed on the screen, but they can call the volunteer office to get more information. Deadline for nominations is August 1st. And then I know we talked earlier about the phrase this evening, but literally the season starts here in about 3 weeks. One of the best events of the summer, our community block party, will be on Wednesday, June 4th from 6 to 8 p.m. So we invite residents to come out, learn more about our city departments and services, free entertainment on the phrase stage, and most importantly, dilly bars passed out by the mayor and council office. So certainly invite all residents to come out to that. Your Honor, that's all I have for this evening. My voice is about gone, but I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, thank you very much. Appreciate that. I lost my place. Okay. At this point, if there's anyone in the audience who would like to come down and address council on a non-legislative issue, they may do so. I would like to remind you, you may have a 5-minute limit. Speakers are asked to state their name and address. Is there anyone who wishes to speak before City Council tonight? We have 2 people. I'll take the gentleman on the right first. You. I can't see in the light. Okay, Mr. Wood, if you'd like to go first, that's fine. Is that a woman? What you got for us tonight?
Pictures and names.
Pictures and names, okay. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hello, Mayor and City Council. David Woods, 3230 Lakeview Avenue. These are the names of the doctors and nurses in Kettering Main Campus Hospital. I got these names from my lawyer, Robert, for Kirk Klein Smith for Dallas, Texas, and also from Erica, my paralegal. She written down all the names of the doctors and nurses who care for my dad in Kettering Main Campus Hospital. And Civil Rights Commission, Christine McDonald, is investigating Kettering Main Campus Hospital. They're about done with their investigation. I asked that the mayor and the city council gives her 10 more days because I was telling you about that pretty white woman with the black hair who witnessed my dad got choked and slapped by the male nurse. Her name is in there too, on the chaplain's on there too, and I need her to interview her because she witnessed my dad get assaulted by the male nurse. And I can't say the doctor's names, but I'm gonna play their names to you. These are the doctors and nurses in Kettering Main Campus Hospital. Has not notified me that my dad is dead and not alive in this earth because I didn't see his dead body. And also, they haven't told my brothers and sisters that the male nurse slapped and choked my dad into shock with the infection, and a pretty white woman chaplain witnessed it. Her name is on there, so when Christine McDonald interview, I can say her name to you instead of saying pretty white woman. But I just say pretty white woman because she's pretty. And there's the names.
Dr. Nilesh Suresh Mhakska, Dr. Rami Alashiram, Dr. Shailendra Saul, Dr. Robert William Moore, Dr. Abidemi Babi Akande, Dr. Hemant Mahendra Shah, Dr. Emily Franks, Dr. Ravi Y. Desai, Dr. Nicholas Brautingham, Dr. Lisa Comparin, Michelle Harrington, RN, Aja Borelli, RN, John Armand Ocampo, Megan Rowe, RN, Catherine Kendrick, RN, Emily Dawson, RN, Patricia Evans, RN, Katie Curtis, RN, Michaeline Apollon, RN, Jermaine Harris, RN. The whole statement. These are the names of the chaplains listed in the medical records. Elliot Smith, Bernice Nunes, Stephen Nell, and the intern chaplains were Marcelinas Regis, Maurice St. John, and Kevin Gill.
Yeah, them were the doctors and nurses that never did tell me that my dad's dead on this earth. If you ask them individually, did you tell David Woods Jr. that his dad died? Not one of them can tell you that they told me that at all. I'm his main power attorney in medical. They never did ask me for, did I want him to die anyway. They haven't notified me that he's dead on this earth because I didn't see his dead body. They haven't notified my brothers and sisters that he got slapped and choked by the male nurse. And the only witness I have is a pretty white woman chaplain. There was a male chaplain too in the video. And I believe they still got the video. And I wish that Captain Perez would go ahead, head of security, and release the tape because I want the mayor, you to see it. And I wanted to be on Channel 2 News, Channel 7 News, and Fox 45 News. Even though it's graphic, I want the public to see that my dad has served in the Vietnam War. He just didn't go to the Navy. He went to the Navy, he actually went to war to fight for our country. And he fought in the war to protect our country in the Vietnam War, and he got disrespected. And I just want to say, like I said, eventually I'm gonna do the definition of character lawsuit, and I want to sue like City of Kettering, Ohio, and in Inglewood for definition of character. And like I said, I want $20 million, but I want $1 million to go to Oakwood, $1 million to go to Miamisburg, and I want $2 million to go to the mayor of Kettering, Ohio, you, and the city council. And then I want $2 million to go to Kirk Klein Smith, and then $2 million to the Civil Rights Commission, and the rest of the money I want to go in my dad's bank. I don't want to spend the money. I want that to be his money, so when he died, he didn't die for nothing. And I want Donald Trump to give him the ribbon of war. I feel my dad's a hero because he's a preacher, and he was a family man, and if you've seen him, you love him. And I thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Okay. I'd like to come on down. Team Kettering.
That's it.
Okay.
My name is Carol Costa. Address is 421 Shaw Farm Lane, Kettering, 45429. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you tonight. I have two members of my team with me, Steve Dill and Camille Farrar, up there in the corner as well. I'd like to talk to you about two things. First, explain what Team Kettering is, and second, why we're here at a city council meeting. Team Kettering is one of several similar groups in southern Montgomery County, organized geographically, such as Team Oakwood, Team Centerville, etc. Our focus is democracy. Team Kettering is not affiliated with Montgomery County government or a political party. We are made up of many individuals who are working to save our democracy. And we don't organize protests, although many of us participate in rallies and protests. That's being done by our local Indivisible group in conjunction with national groups. But we do try to keep our members informed of those dates happening there, along with significant legislation at both the federal and state levels. Team Kettering is focused on grassroots organizing, working together at the local level, precinct by precinct, neighborhood by neighborhood. We're developing neighborhood teams to talk to our neighbors and distribute information about local events, legislation, and elections. And most importantly, right now, we're providing support for each other in these times of political chaos and uncertainty. A few weeks ago, I was knocking on doors in my precinct to pass out information about the primary coming up, and it was a really tough time. People were hurting, and it had nothing to do with their party affiliation. I just listened, and people would just poured out their fears, both Democrats and Republicans. So it was a tough thing, and it was an eye-opener for me. So providing support for each other is really important. So that's what Team Kettering is about, protection of our democracy and support for each other. And so why am I addressing City Council? To the citizens of Kettering, democracy is all those ideals that are defined in the federal Constitution, plus all those things we've come to expect as Americans, things we often take for granted, things such as Social Security and Medicare, Medicaid, cancer research, assistance with food insecurity, uncontaminated food, vaccinations, national parks, protection by our local police, and the list goes on and on. And most importantly, we expect the ability to have the ability to vote with reasonable requirements and access to polling places. These are all things we've come to expect and have taken for granted until now. Democracy, which is, as we citizens believe, includes all these things, begins at the local level. And you, as representatives of our city government, represent the first line of defense for our democracy. You are who the people of Kettering expect to help us when a lot of these challenges to our democracy begin to happen. And so, I've lived in Kettering for 28 years. In my 75 years, I've never lived anywhere else in a city that is so responsive and supportive to its citizens. I've spoken to this council before, and you were responsive to my concerns, and I was surprised and grateful for the help I received at that time. So Team Kettering has already met with the Kettering School Board and found ways to help them with the challenges they're facing. We have already met with our mayor, Peggy Lehner there, and the members of Team Kettering are here to do whatever we can to help you and support our city government. And we're proud of our city and want to preserve the excellent government we have. Thank you. Questions?
Thank you very much.
Could I
Anyone
ask a
have any
question?
questions?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Is Team Kettering, Team Centerville, all those, are you offshoots of Indivisible or another organization?
We are not offshoots of Indivisible.
Okay.
We are offshoots of a group called Team Democracy.
Okay.
And we're offshoots of that. But we each operate sort of independently on our own. And my team, this is what we focus on.
Okay.
And so we really make a point to make this not about Republicans and Democrats. Because at this point, I think we're all citizens and we're all experiencing the same things. And so we're here to help each other and ask you for help as we need it. And anything we can do to help, we'd be happy to do. So,
thank you.
Yes.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. We'll now move on to City Council reports. And Mr. Sullivan, would you like to start off?
I would be happy to. I, like Mr. Bergstresser, I don't want to step on Councilmember Duvall's, I don't want to steal your thunder, I guess is what I'm saying. But I went to the Kettering Leadership Academy graduation, as well as Mrs. Fisher and Mr. Suddeth, and you guys did a phenomenal job, as always. I know Lindsay Curry does a lot of work with that from the staff end, but both of you, great job. It was, as always, it was great. There were two Kettering City School, as a Kettering City Schools employee, there were two Kettering City School graduates this year, so I'm proud of that. The beloved Alexa Lacey, who's the principal at Southdale Elementary, and Victor Colon, who is wild man, but he's a counselor at Fairmont, great guy. And also, I got to say, as a Dorwood member, Ty Rentz was the Dorwood representative. So it was a great night. You guys do a good job. It's exciting to see how many people want to volunteer and be leaders in Kettering and future leaders in Kettering. Last night, I went to the STEAM night, which was put on by Kettering City Schools over at Trent Arena. You've probably heard of STEAM at this point, but it started as STEM, but we've added the A for like the arts, and there was so much creativity going on over there. Kids were playing instruments. You could look at a worm under a microscope. You could build an airplane. You could fly a virtual drone. Just so much going on, and it inspires kids' creativity and curiosity. So just a wonderful thing. And so many community members were a part of that. Dorwood had a station there as well. So that was just a wonderful Kettering event, and I would love to know what the head count was, because there were a lot of families there. I would like to talk about, we've got, at the end of the school year here, so many great educators are retiring, but one in particular is Rich Wright, who is the teacher for the orchestra. He is incredible. I went to the last orchestra concert last week, and I went for the seniors. It was the seniors' last concert, and I wasn't even thinking about it being Rich Wright's last concert. And it was incredible. And I didn't go to the orchestra concert expecting to cry, but that's what happened. Not just me, everybody did, so it wasn't just me. But it was just emotional. I mean, Rich's love for Kettering and Kettering City Schools and the Kettering community. He talked about his love of Kettering Parks and the phrase. He said you'll find him there every morning with his wife walking by the fountains. So it's just great. I mean, there's so many good teachers like that in Kettering that are members of the community, and we're going to really miss Rich. So I just wanted to mention that. And lastly, I want to thank KPD. It's National Police Week, and we all appreciate you so much. So thank you for all you guys do. And that's it for me.
Thank you.
Earlier today, I went to the Partners for Healthy Youth meeting, and they have Partners for Healthy Youth is a joint venture between the schools and the city, and we're responsible for summer feeding together. And hunger in the schools has grown, and I anticipate it's going to grow quite a bit more as soon as tariffs hit. And it's an opportunity for the community to get involved. We're always looking for volunteers to help each week with the different summer feedings that happen. We also have 3 hot dog roasts that are well attended, and the dates for all 3 are in July on the 16th, 24th, and 29th. And Partners for Healthy Youth will be at the block party as well to talk more about what we do. So it's a great way to get involved, and a reoccurring theme I've heard with residents is a desire to connect more, whether it's with the neighbors, between residents and city leadership, or between services and the people who need them. And I think we can make meaningful progress, both residents and the city council here. One of the ways is with PIFI. We also have 2 open board seats on Partners for Healthy Youth. Sorry, did I say PIFI more than once? That's Partners for Healthy Youth. And the Parks Department has boards, and there's tons of boards and councils in the city. We also have nonprofits who are involved with Partners for Healthy Youth, and faith communities who actually really run the whole summer feeding program. And I just want to give a thanks to them, and people who serve with compassion in the city. And, you know, again, I've said this before, the amount of people who volunteer here is just inspirational. We have an amazing volunteer department, but as we head into the summer, I just hope people will stay informed and engaged, and thrilled to have Team Kettering hear about the work there. That's fantastic. And then you know, there's so many ways to help the city with coming to council meetings, joining a board, saying hello to a neighbor. And I think we can continue to lift people up here working together.
Thank you.
I think we're running a little long here tonight, so I will dispense with any comments this evening.
I will be keeping y'all here while I talk about KLA. You guys are welcome to steal my thunder anytime if you're saying nice things about KLA. Our graduation was Thursday, and it was perfect. It went off without a hitch, and it was such a remarkable class this year. I'm so grateful to them. But I do want to just a few short thank yous. Amanda Harold, Lindsay Curry, and Dawn Kirshner did all the heavy lifting for KLA, and I'm so grateful to them. They did a wonderful job. As Shane mentioned, Ms. Fisher, him and Mr. Suddeth were there at the graduation. I'm so grateful you guys were there. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And also a quick thank you to Chief Protzman and Matt, who is not here tonight, who are both KLA board members, and they were also there. And Bill Shearhart, who would want me to tell you all, he was not just a speaker at graduation, he was the keynote speaker. So, got to get that out there. It was a wonderful year, and applications are open for another month, so get those applications in, and thank you all. That's it.
So a few things. One, this month is my 20th anniversary from graduating with KLA. The program has been around now for 21 years and has produced a lot of the key volunteers and 4 members of council and 5 members of council, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jill, Shay, myself, Jackie, and Lisa. So it's an amazing program, and I'm glad to see it's still strong. A few other things. This week I got to attend Orchard Park's May Day. If you've ever had kids that went to Orchard Park, like I did, May Day is like the unofficial kickoff to all things beautiful and spring and green and Kettering. And I can't believe how many people are there. And I would just like to thank the police department for not giving me a parking ticket because I got there late and there's no place to park. So thank you. Also, this past week, the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee met. And just a reminder that as we're working through the new comprehensive plan and how the city will be shaped by land use in the years to come, we're still accepting public input on that. So if you come to the ketteringoh.org, you'll find a link there, and there's ways to give your input about how you think land should be used. Tonight we talked about a property, Wilmington Pike, and in every meeting we're talking about how we envision land in this city being used in the years to come. And that only works well if the citizens take part in that process, and we're inviting you to go to the website and click through and let your thoughts be made known. I just want to thank Team Kettering for being here tonight. As a supporter member of Braver Angels, elevating the discourse amongst friends and neighbors around the topic of civic and government politics could not be more important and more timely. Thank you for what you're doing in our neighborhoods. And finally, a meeting should not go by without us mentioning that next year is the United States semi-quincentennial, and we should always remind that for our listeners out there. And with that, I will close my comments.
I won't even comment on the dollar that's being passed around here for saying successful correctly, which I can't do. All
Gotta
right.
say it correctly.
I don't have a long report to give tonight. However, I would not want to let the evening go by without acknowledging the passing of Bonnie Piddle. Bonnie was our volunteer coordinator for many, many years. Absolutely a delightful woman, wonderful woman. I enjoyed being her friend and her colleague over the years, as I know everyone that had contacts with her did. Bonnie will be buried, I think on the 22nd. 22nd is the service. Please remember her in any way you can. And she was kind of the epitome of a good citizen. And I think she would approve of what you all are doing. And I think that we all can honor her best by emulating her love for our community and love for family. So with that, I think this meeting will be adjourned.